history, what does LADLAD party list aim to do and why was it founded?
In 2003, I founded the LADLAD party list primarily as a vehicle for a party that will run for elections in the party list system, and as a party that will push for the passage of the anti-discrimination bill in Congress. In 1998, I helped write the anti-discrimination bill against LGBTs, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender. And then we did have a party then, so we asked Akbayan Party List to carry the program, to file it, which they did for the last 3 Congresses. They have filed it, and they've done very well. We've reached committee meetings, committee hearings, and in 2004 we will reach plenary session. Congress approved it, but we didn't have a Senate counterpart. In 2004 the elections came, so back to square one. So LADLAD was founded to push for the passage of the discrimination bill number 1. Number 2, to give programs and livelihood projects for poor and physically disabled LGBT. Number 2. Number 3, to support LGBT-friendly businesses. Number 4, to repeal the anti-vagrancy law that some policemen use to extort from gay men. Number 5, to set up homes for the aged, for the old, abandoned LGBT members. Number 6, along with this, number 6, to set up halfway houses for the runaway LGBTs teenagers. Provide them medical aid, psychological counseling, and legal help. And also a center for audiovisual resources, library and resource center. So that's our tall order for the party I founded in 2003. But you must remember, our platform is not just mine. When I was, and I'm running for chairman again in February, when I was the chairman of LADLAD, I always made sure that all these platforms and meetings were consensus, based on consensus. That's my leadership style. I will hold meetings with the officers, we will argue and debate till kingdom come, but at the end of the day, we have to decide on a consensus, and everybody will follow. If you don't agree with this, you just keep quiet, because it is a product of consensus. And then I filed our papers in 2007, but we were turned down by COMELEC for lack of national constituency. The real reason being that COMELEC, then being the puppet of Misa Arroyo, turned us down because we were perceived as an anti-GMA group. There was a memorandum from Malacanang's External Affairs Office saying that the following party list, please watch out for them: Bayan Muna, Akbayan, Gabriela, all the farmers groups, the workers group, and ang LADLAD. But we are not anti-GMA. Although in one meeting we asked for the resignation of GMA, we formed a group not called LADLAD but LADLAG. Lesbian and gay for the resignation of GMA. In 2010, I filed again with the COMELEC for accreditation, but COMELEC this time turned us down for 2 reasons. One is LADLAD is an organization that is immoral, abnormal, and number 2, it's against the laws, it's against the moral fiber of the country and the LGBTs. Now we are here only to corrupt the young. So when I saw that, matatalo ang COMELEC because you're a policy majors, you've read the Constitution, right? The Constitution says there's separation between church and state. The Philippines is not a Catholic. There is no state religion. RC is the dominant religion, Roman Catholicism, but it's not, can never be imposed on everybody because there is no state religion. Padre Damaso is dead, in theory at least. So I filed a case against the COMELEC in the Supreme Court, filed it January 5, 2010. The Supreme Court decided on April 8, 2010. It took them 3 months. Elections was May 9, 2010. I only had 4 weeks to campaign. Whereas other party list groups started campaigning January 9, 2010. So January 9 to April 9, they have 4 months. LADLAD, April 9 to May 9, we only had 1 month. We lost by 20,000 votes. And also because our name is ang LADLAD, many people, especially the old people, were looking for us under letter L. LADLAD. We made it ang LADLAD because in the 2007 elections, it was manual. And we were not sure if 2010 would be computerized, diba? There was this long and bitter argument and debate. But if you're letter A, you'll be found on the top of the list. You have 191 party list close. Many of them spurious or fake, no, or GMA's puppets. But if you're under letter A or you're number 1, 2, 3 Pinoy, you're either numerals, numbers, or letter A will be on top. But that was gone during the computerized election. So the people got confused. So we lost by 20,000 votes. We're running again in 2013 because we're no longer required to undergo accreditation. But these are last chance to win because under the party list law, which you haven't read, it says that any party list that lost in 2 consecutive elections have to undergo accreditation again. I don't want to go through that again. So we are intent on winning because I'm running for chairman of LADLAD, but I'm not running for a seat in Congress. Next question.
How well are the LGBT represented by LADLAD?
It's like this, no? We don't claim to be the only LGBT group in the Philippines, but we're the only one that has existed for such a long time. If you know LGBT politics, no? They always quarrel among like many Filipino groups, they always quarrel among themselves. I try to hold LADLAD together. Filipinos will form this party. The next day, they will split. We've been here since 2008. We've been here for like 11 years. 12 minus 3, we've been here for 9 years. Almost 9 years na this September. 9 years is a long time. And we're the only existing LGBT political party in the world. In Europe, the LGBT parties are under the Green Party, yung environment. Or they're under in the US, they're under the Democratic Party. Okay, Hussein Barack Obama, the president of the US. So there is no LGBT party in the world except LADLAD. According to CNN.com, hanapin nyo din yan. CNN.com, LADLAD. You see my picture, very thin, no? Sa likod ko yung mga squatter doon sa Pasay, nangangampanya kami, no? Parang born legacy ng CNN, they followed us. Pinatayo ako sa harap ng jeep. Tapos may basura dito, may mahirap dito. Parang akalain ng buong mundo, mahirap ang Pilipinas. No? Pero very cinematic. May jeep, may mahirap, may basura, tapos yung bakla nakatayo. Diba? CNN.com, magandang report niya. Next question.
How does LADLAD respond to the needs of the LGBT community?
Okay, we don't claim to be the only LGBT organization, but we are the only one that has lasted for 8 years now. So what are our programs and projects? We have, of course, an advocacy and awareness group that helps raise issues before the community. Our projects in the present include a campaign against hate crimes. Since 1998, 144 LGBTs, mostly gays and bisexuals, have been killed because of documented hate crimes. We have a group that does this, number 1. Number 2, we provide legal aid to our members who are discriminated against. For example, in Cebu, 2 months ago, transgenders complained of young men, nakasakay sa van, and they would open the van and then spray, air pellets on gay men. They were caught 2 weeks ago. Bayabon din, I went there, mounted a campaign against these gay men, against these straight men, allegedly straight men, spraying air pellets on the gay men. Pasaway, mga members ng fraternity, no? Kasi suntukan na lang, diba? Magusto yung suntukan.
Yeah.
And then we provide counseling to some of our members. Our problem really is lack of funds. We cannot do all of this with few resources. That's what we're doing now. And then of course we're forming nationwide alliances and organizations for the campaign, and also to ask them what their needs are, so whether we campaign, and if we win, because I'm sure we're going to win at least 1 seat in Congress, we can respond better to the needs of the people. We're focused on the poor, physically disabled, LGBTs, old. Look at our platform. Old, young, poor, physically disabled, or mentally disabled, LGBTs. Nakatuto ako dyan, as chairman of LADLAD Partylist. Oh, next question.
Okay,
I love Korea. Wala ba I love Koreans?
Okay, so yung next, how does the LGBT
Korean boys,
community
no?
respond to that?
Well, you know how Filipinos are, no? They'd rather go to a party, social party in Malate, than attend political party meeting. When I organized LADLAD in 2003, September, I called my friends in Katlo, our former gay group, for a meeting. I said, we're forming a party. So they came in their very nice clothes and they said, where's the party? What party? The party. No, it's a political party. So ganyan naman ang Pilipino, no? Unless may issue, walang ginagawa. Now, the HIV/AIDS issue is again two issues unite the Philippine LGBT community. One is HIV/AIDS. If you go to doh.gov.ph, you go to HIV/AIDS, you will see the HIV/AIDS registry. There are 254 new cases of HIV in December alone. That's a 50% increase in the last year. So it's now reaching the tipping point in the Philippines, and many of the HIV-infected people are MSM, men obsessed with men. Therefore, many gay groups are organizing themselves for the protection, care, and treatment, no? Protection, care, and treatment of HIV-infected people, focusing on MSN. Number 2, the issue of LADLAD united and continues to unite the LGBT groups. Why? Because when Commissioner Ferrer is very tiny, not very bright, no? He's now retired. No? He looks like a rodent, no? Rat, no? Mousy. No? Tatlo yan eh. Commissioner Ferrer is an Episcopal minister in Binmalay, Pangasinan. Commissioner Elias Yusof is a Muslim imam of Lanao. And then the next is Commissioner Rosenito Tagle is director of the Couples for Christ in Cubao. They constituted the second commission of COMELEC. So doon napunta yung kaso namin, unfortunately, so those 3 men objected. No? And they had an en banc meeting, so 3 versus 3, 3 against us, 3 for us, and then in came this ancient commissioner of the COMELEC, no? Whose name I forgot now. He was GMA's appointee. He voted against LADLAD. So 4-3 kami. So I filed the Supreme Court a petition. We won. 13 for us, 2 against us. Who voted against us? CJ Corona. Look at the people who opposed me. In 2007, Chairman Abalos said, Professor Remoto, your group cannot campaign because you're all phantom voters. You only appear at night. So I said, with all due respect, Commissioner Abalos, we are not phantoms. We are the opera. Hindi nyo na-gets. Phantom of the opera. Na, 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 na. Where's Chairman Abalos now? Hospital arrest. No, actually in jail. In 2007, GMA's administration said we are against her. They didn't allow us to run. Where is GMA now? Hospital arrest. Chairman Bello of COMELEC, Jose Bello, GMA's appointee, voted against us, no, 4-3. Where is he now? He is retired and waiting for the Lord to get him. No? Yung mga kaaway namin, where's number 4? Commissioner Ferrer. COMELEC retired, and he might soon face a string of corruption and electioneering charges because allegedly he's very corrupt, he sold decisions. So lahat ng umaway sa amin, kung di man nakulong, nakademanda o kukunin na ni Jesus at ibabato sa impyerno. Diba? Oh, yehey! Talagang yehey! Magkaba sila lahat.
Okay, so next question. What are the advocacies that LADLAD is focusing on at the moment?
At the moment, we have a campaign as a